Back in Santa Clara, just about ready for the kick as we go downstairs, say hello to our sideline reporter, former NFL kicker, Jay Feely. Jay?
Thanks, Spiro. With the Bengals playoffs hopes riding on the inexperienced shoulders of A.J. McCarron, there wasn't a lot of worry from the players and the coaches. That confidence derives from a decision that Marvin Lewis made during the season to go to A.J. McCarron, insert him in on Thursday practice and give him a period. He did a great job. That eased a lot of fears from the Bengals players and coaches. It was something that Marvin Lewis did with Carson Palmer when he was a rookie. He got it from Dan Reeves, who did it with Michael Vick in 2001 when he was a rookie. I was there. I saw how Michael Vick developed, and he started the last 2 games of the season. Spiro?
All right, Jay, thanks. Well, little did Marvin Lewis and these coaches know that that extra practice time 1 day a week would serve him so well. As we get you ready for kickoff, today's game being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Mike Nugent kicks it away. Bengals winning the toss, electing to defer. So San Francisco will have it, and it's Bruce Ellington playing it from deep in his end zone, making Quinton Patton, I beg your pardon, as he crosses the 25 and is run out of bounds there. So decent position and a good-looking return by Patton of 32 yards. Here comes Blaine Gabbert. You see his record so far in 5 starts since coming on for Colin Kaepernick, who, of course, is on the IR and out for the season. Solomon, what have you seen so far from Gabbert?
I've seen an improved Blaine Gabbert. He has the ability to drive the ball down the field, has an excellent arm today. He's got to get the ball out quick. Took 9 sacks 1 week ago against the Cleveland Browns.
Sean Drone is the featured running back here. All the injuries that they've had at that position. And a quick strike on first and 10. It's Bruce Miller, the fullback in his 5th year out of Central Florida, to get this San Francisco offense going. 10 yards and a first down. They've had to make some changes up front. Alex Boone, their top guard, out today due to injury, so Marcus Martin slides over from center to guard. Anquan Bolden, the future Hall of Famer, their leading receiver, at over 600 receiving yards. He's a former 3-time Pro Bowl player. First and 10 after the completion from just outside the 36. They keep it on the ground. This is Sean Drone, who they acquired in free agency from Cleveland on a minimal pickup. How about the Cincinnati defense? Entered the game last week, first in the league in scoring allowed, now second in the NFL in that department. You see Vontaze Burfict, their leading tackler, 3 of the last 4 weeks. Adam Jones, who's been out 2 of the last 4 games with a foot injury, back in the starting lineup this afternoon. We'll see Leon Hall in a reserve role. 2nd and 9. Gabbert on the give, and once again, that is Drone. And he's brought down by Geno Atkins as they dump him for a loss of 4. That is Atkins' 13th tackle for a loss this season.
How about Blaine Gabbert? You know, now in his 5th season. Remember those early years with the Jacksonville Jaguars? Only won 5 games there in his first 4 seasons. But you can see he's been able to win some games. Completion percentage has improved. So has his touchdown to interception ratio because of his improved decision making.
Where does Gabbert go here on 3rd and 13? Gabbert from the gun. Good pass protection, but the pass errantly thrown in the direction of Drone. And on 4th and long, San Francisco will punt.
And there you see just a young football team. Watch Drone. He's got to cut across the middle of the formation. He stays outside, and so there you see the miscommunication between Blaine Gabbert and the running back Drone. So a young football team that's prone to make mistakes.
Drone signed just prior to their game in Week 9. A team that has lost both Carlos Hyde and Reggie Bush to injuries during the course of the season. Brandon Tate going sideline to sideline, unable to find open daylight. Bring him down after a loss of 2 on the return. A.J. McCarron when we come back. What a moment for A.J. McCarron, former 5th-round pick in 2014. He is the first quarterback not named Andy Dalton to start a game for the Bengals since Week 17 of 2010. We saw Dalton on the sideline nursing that fractured thumb. We're talking about a timetable of 3 to 6 weeks. Here is Giovanni Bernard, 5th in the league in average yards per rush at 5.1. He picks up 4 on first down. Starters, Andrew Whitworth headlines this offensive line that has had such consistency over the last couple of seasons. One of the secrets to their success. Keep your eye on Tyler Croft. Makes his first start today. Tyler Eifert, their star tight end, out, still recovering from a concussion. And on 2nd and 6, they keep it on the ground once again. And a minimal pickup. Quentin Dial headlines the defensive starters for a San Francisco defense that allowed 230 rushing yards in their loss in Cleveland. A couple of linebackers out, Will Hoyt and Lynch, for a second straight week. And boy, Tart has had just a tremendous season. One of the few bright spots for the San Francisco defense. McCarron from the gun on 3rd and 4. McCarron flushed out, probes the defense, going to try to run for the first down. Needed the 41, appears to be short. Gerald Hodges, the linebacker, able to run him out of bounds after a pickup of only a yard.
You got the blitzer right here. This is Navarro Bowman. Now watch, Giovanni Bernard is going to try to pick him up, but he walks him right back to the quarterback, is able to flush McCarron out of the pocket. Doesn't give him time to look at his receivers and locate them down the field.
One thing we should mention, A.J. Green, who tweaked his back yesterday during the Bengals walkthrough here, was downgraded to questionable. Did start the game, but someone to keep close tabs on as the afternoon goes on. Good-looking punt from Kevin Huber. However, they are unable to track it down before it rolls into the end zone. Penalty marker thrown. Way back at the 40-yard line of Cincinnati. 62-yard punt as it stands at the moment.
During the kick, holding, number 54 of the kicking team. 10-yard penalty, San Francisco's ball, first down, timeout.
Ray Armstrong, the man penalized for San Francisco. Well, some of the all-time San Francisco 49er greats. Joe Montana, class of 2000, in the house today. And so the Niners will honor the 2 Super Bowl teams that beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Sorry, Solomon, we don't want to bring up some bad memories for you. That's Sean Drone, able to fight off a couple of would-be tacklers and gets close to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, I still see Joe Montana in my dreams, my nightmares, I might add. And he won 4 Super Bowls and never threw an interception in any of those Super Bowls. I think it's just remarkable. Even though I think in Super Bowl 23, he threw us one, we just didn't catch it.
Well, I guess if you're going to lose to anyone in the Super Bowl, Joe Montana's a pretty good quarterback. There's all kinds of great memories for these 49ers fans will be relived at halftime. On 2nd and 5, this is Drone. Had a chance to ask Jim Tom Sula about him, and boy, he sung his praises as Drone is able to run for the first down. Surprised that Drone was even available at that stage of the season as they picked him up right before Week 9.
Yeah, he's a 3rd-year running back out of North Carolina, 225 pounds. And Jim Tom Sula, much like what you're going to get from the Bengals offense and Hugh Jackson, they want to feature power run game, try to really protect their young quarterback and try to win the game at the line of scrimmage.
On 1st and 10 from the 20, here is Drone, featured back early on, and Drone taking on this Cincinnati defense. Vontaze Burfict, the recipient of that shot, as Drone runs for 9 to the outside.
And what you've seen the last 2 plays is the 49ers offensive line is coming off the ball. They're getting physical at the point of attack, and Drone has been able to be productive, getting positive rush yards.
You see Drone's numbers on the season. Former star at North Carolina in his 4th NFL season. On 2nd and short, Gabbert's pass is incomplete. Boy, Bolden took a shot. It was Burfict getting him low. Now penalty marker thrown late. Players have to be separated by the officials behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, what a play by Vontaze Burfict.
Burfict in the news this week, fined for that low hit against Ben Roethlisberger last week. All part of a physical game.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense number 24. Half the distance to the goal, and the down counts. It's 3rd down.
That's Sean Drone on the penalty.
Yeah, there was some action after the play was made. Here you're going to see Drone right there. Of course, we missed the opportunity to circle him before that play, but the bottom of the screen, he was just going at it with one of the Bengals players. And that's what Marvin Lewis talked about after some of the penalties they sustained last week and some of the fines. There you see him right there with Ray Malaluga.
See that extra thrust by Drone at the end of the play. Got the attention of the officials. So 3rd and 15 from just inside the 15-yard line. Gabbard has time, good protection, completes at the 25-yard line. That's Vance McDonald, tight end. 22nd catch of the season. They pick up 10, but well short of the first down they'll punt.
Now they allow him to catch it just short of the sticks, and Adam Jones comes up to make the tackle. Nice to see him back on the field for the Cincinnati Bengals after missing some time with that foot injury. He's been chomping at the bit to get back on the field, and he's back playing in this game today.
Second punt for Bradley Pinion, the rookie out of Clemson. This is Brandon Tate. Will signal fair catch from just outside the 20. 53-yard punt. McCarron back onto the field when we come back on NFL Network. Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara. Temperatures in the upper 40s for Cincinnati and San Francisco. Second offensive possession for the Bengals as A.J. McCarron makes his first career start. Handoff is to Bernard, who's been the featured back till this point, and is able to cross the 25 after a pickup of 5. We touched on A.J. Green, that back injury that he tweaked yesterday in their walkthrough. Here was Green earlier this morning. You see him talking to some of the staffers on the sideline, and so far not a factor of the first possession plus.
Yeah, tried to get open right there, but A.J. McCarron just didn't have time to get rid of it.
McCarron's going to throw it on 2nd and 5. He's got Green right on cue. Over the shoulder catch inside San Francisco territory as he beats Tremaine Brock for a 37-yard pickup.
Yeah, oh my goodness. He came off the line of scrimmage. Watch him here come down the field. He's going to get open, and he just blows right by Tremaine Brock. And watch this throw by the young quarterback, A.J. McCarron. Dropped it right in the bucket so that Green can make a play on it.
Those two hooked up on a 66-yard touchdown last week on only the 5th attempt that McCarron threw in that game. That is Bernard again. And we asked Hugh Jackson before the game if he would kind of scale back the playbook, and he said no. That would send the wrong message to this offense. We're playing to win with everything that is on the line for them today.
I think Hugh Jackson's contribution, everywhere he has been, particularly with this Bengals team, he breeds confidence in his players. He expects them to go out and make plays. Everything is predicated on their preparation, and then he's going to make plays, I think, designed to give them opportunities to put the ball into the end zone.
Bunch formation for the Bengals on 2nd and 6 on screen pass. Bernard so deadly in the passing game. Very close to that first down marker. Ian Williams on the tackle. Well, what a unique position that this kid McCarron is in, taking over a team that is 2nd in the conference. One of the most decorated and successful quarterbacks in the history of college football. And to take over this team at this juncture of the season. All kinds of pressure on his shoulders as Giovanni Bernard needed only a yard for the first down. Not sure he got it. Tackled on the play by Tart. It'll be 4th down.
Well, if the Bengals are going to come here to San Francisco and get a win and clinch the AFC North Division, which they can get done with a win here today, they're going to have to be able to run the football. They should not have to rely on the arm of A.J. McCarron to come out of here with a win. Yes, he's going to have to make some plays for Marvin Lewis. It's already gone up top to A.J. Green, but the offensive line's got to win at the line of scrimmage and be able to power the run game.
Marvin Lewis going to roll the dice. They go 2 tight ends. Hewitt lines up in the backfield. This is Bernard. Needed the 26 for the first down, and he didn't get it.
Navarro Bowman, the leader of this defense, determined to make a difference. Coming downhill, getting penetration, stuffs Giovanni Bernard to turn back the Bengals rushing attack.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. better matters. And by Amazon Fire TV. Change the way you TV.
Some of the legendary figures in the history of the Cincinnati Bengals. Boomer Esiason, former league MVP, and our colleague. It was nice and warm back in our New York studios. 1st and 10. Third offensive possession for Blaine Gabbert and the Niners. This is drone brought down right around the line of scrimmage. We go downstairs again. Say hello to Jay Feely.
Andy Dalton intricately involved every time they come to the sidelines. He's got a tablet, he's drawing up plays, he's grabbing receivers, helping A.J. McCarron, trying to do everything he can do to help this offense. Back to you, Spiro.
And one of the reasons why Dalton wanted to travel with the team. McCarron, a kid who's, of course, still wet behind the ears despite the experience he had last week after coming on in relief early in that first half against the Steelers. On 2nd and 10, this is Drawn, has some daylight, crosses the 30, close to the 35-yard line. And Drawn has shown some good burst. He picks up 7, tackled by A.J. Hawk.
And they're giving him plenty of opportunities. That was his 7th carry of the game. 23 yards so far rushing here in the first quarter. Starting to get to the second level of the Bengals defense. So we already showed you Navarro Bowman stuffing that Bengals running attack. So they won at the line of scrimmage on defense, but right now they're starting to win the battle with their offensive line as well.
Gabbert will work from the shotgun on 3rd and 3 from the 35. Gabbert slings it, quick drop, completes. That's Blake Bell, the rookie tight end out of Oklahoma. Short of the first down, they needed the 38. Reggie Nelson, who has an interception in each of the last 5 games, leads the league with 8 on the tackle for Cincinnati.
And there you see Hill making a great play. It all starts with his depth, with his angle of pursuit. He was able to make the tackle with his upfield shoulder and prevent the tight end from making the first down.
Had a chance to visit with Nelson yesterday at the Bengals Hotel. Says that this is the most confidence he has felt in what has been a stellar 9-year career in the NFL. 3rd punt for Pinion. Last one at 50+ yards. Here is Tate. He's going to field it, but he is going backwards. Brought down close to the 15-yard line. 40-yard punt and a loss of 4 on the return. Tonight, would you like to know what Apple is working on next? Rare and wide-ranging interviews with CEO Tim Cook and his team only on 60 Minutes tonight. Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara, California. On a gray Sunday, final day of fall here. Temperatures in the upper 40s. A.J. McCarron on 1st and 10 from the shotgun. Has time and completes on a cross over the middle. That is Giovanni Bernard. Excellent play by Navarro Bowman. Had the big hit on the last possession. 2nd in the NFL in tackles. Backups turning to starters has been a theme around the NFL.
Absolutely. I think it's more importantly that you rely on the run game. Many of those teams who have lost their frontline quarterback, and in I think this game today with both teams, you've got Blaine Gabbert, he's a backup quarterback. You've got A.J. McCarron. Both teams are going to have to rely on their defense, going to have to rely on the run game to help fuel the offense.
Picked up only 2 on the completion, so 2nd and 8 from the 21. Handoff is to Bernard. And Bernard just can't seem to shake Bowman, who has had an extra special start.
And if Navarro Bowman doesn't make this tackle, it's going to go a long way. Watch as they pull. He knifes underneath the guard, and look at that tackle. And if he's able to get through that seam, he's going to maybe have himself a 50-yard run. Great play by the inside linebacker, Navarro Bowman.
3rd and 6. 3 minutes left in the quarter. The tight end Croft in motion. Niners coming on the blitz. Good pickup by Bernard. Didn't get all of the defender as McCarron hit gently on the release. And the Bengals will punt.
Rod Brooks was coming, number 55. They loop and stun around with number 58, Eli Harold. He's able to pull A.J. McCarron, and that's what throws off the accuracy on this throw. Giovanni Bernard doing everything he can against these blitzing linebackers, but they're proving to be too much.
Harrell, the rookie, second start of the season. We mentioned Aaron Lynch, still not ready to come back from the concussion he sustained in early December. Here's Ellington trying to field it, but not much on the return as the Niners will start from the 23. We go to New York. Update time with JB and Tony.
Osweiler and the Broncos answer back.
Yes, they do. Pittsburgh trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, but Rockweiser hits Demaryius Thomas for the 18-yard touchdown up the seam. We are all knotted up in the first. 7-7.
Spiro Ditas, Solomon Wilcots, and Jay Feely.
Oh, that's certainly a game that the Bengals are keeping tabs on. Cincinnati will play in Denver in a monstrous game next weekend. Bengals, as they sit currently, the number 2 seed in the AFC. Win today gets them a postseason berth and a division championship. Gabbard on 1st and 10 feels the pocket start to collapse. He's going to run with it. Crosses the 25, runs out of bounds close to the 27. A nice little run of 4 by Gabbard. Here's what the updated postseason picture looks like. The Patriots already a winner today to get to 12-2.
And how about the Kansas City Chiefs? Came away with a win also against the Baltimore Ravens to improve to 9-5. They've now won 8 consecutive games, so they've been red hot, steaming toward the postseason.
Orange, orange, orange.
2nd and 6 from the 27. Handoff taken and drawn. Wide open seam right up the gut. And this Cincinnati defense that has been so stout against the run has allowed some gaping holes early in this quarter.
Take a look. Just go ahead and roll it. You'll see how they're able to just crease right up the middle. They're able to split the defense right there. And then it takes the safety, Reggie Nelson, to get Drones on the ground, but not until he's able to pick up that first down.
It's a Bengals defense that is ranked 9th in the NFL against the run, allowing just over 86 yards per game. 14-yard run sets up a 1st and 10. Gabbard, the screen pass, Drone. Has been their star till this point. Run out of bounds by Ray Maluga. We're at 1:32 to play in the quarter. A pickup of 3.
And right now, because the 49ers have been able to run the football, Spiro, here in the first quarter, they're able to keep the pocket clean for their quarterback, Blaine Gabbert. Right now, the offense has some kind of movement, and Drone 75 yards from scrimmage. He's been productive in recent weeks, and looks like he's going to be productive today.
See Gabbard has spread the wealth already, completing passes to 4 different receivers as Drone is tackled right at the 45-yard line. The expectations, Salmon, were so low for Gabbard after what happened to him in Jacksonville. We saw the record just 5-22, but he really gave him a shot in the arm. Got him their first road win of the season in Chicago a couple of weeks ago.
I think he's done a better job of having pocket awareness, understanding that the ball's got to come out in a timely manner. Did take those 9 sacks that we talked about last week. Some of them were on him, some were on the receiver, some was on the offensive line. But right now, here in the early going, he appears to be in good rhythm.
Decision time here on 3rd and 5. Penalty marker thrown from the top of your screen.
Offense, number 11, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Wow. Another one of those mistakes, unforced errors by a very young player. Quentin Patton, 3rd-year player out of Louisiana Tech. Right now, look, just watch the ball. No sense in jumping right there and getting the false start penalty.
So 3rd and 10 after the penalty. Clock running at 16 seconds. Gabbard throwing on the run, and he completes. That's the tight end Bell. Well short of the first down. Needed the Cincinnati 49. Second reception for Bell as they pick up only 6.
And he was able to get out of bounds. That stops the clock. Okay, now it's going to start.
And that will take us to the end of the first quarter here in Santa Clara. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Tonight on CBS, the new season of Undercover Boss kicks off with a jaw-dropping episode. Don't miss the season premiere tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS. Start of the second quarter, Spiro Ditas, Solomon Wilcots, Jay Feely, And the rest of our CBS crew. Ryan Galvin, our producer, Andy Goldberg, our director. Already the 6th combined punt between these two teams. Certainly expected that from San Francisco, but Cincinnati, even without their leader Andy Dalton, looking a bit lethargic till this point. 42-yard punt as Tate signals for a fair catch. You certainly expected them, with the injury to Dalton Solomon, to lead on their running backs today.
Have to be able to lean on Giovanni Bernard. Jeremy Hill's got to improve on that 3.6 yards per carry average. He was much better in his rookie campaign 1 year ago, and he's got to be able to get it going. Look, only 22 rushing yards so far in this game by the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to protect a young quarterback like A.J. McCarron. Those two guys have to get it going down the stretch to close out the regular season.
And keep in mind, the Niners allowed 230 rushing yards to Cleveland last week. But 1 quarter into this game, a vast improvement against the run. 1st and 10, Bengals backed up on their own side of the field. That is Bernard. Not much room to maneuver. As we go to New York, get another update with JB and Tony.
Blown coverage.
Hey, you're going to see Brock Osweiler drop back here, hits Emmanuel Sanders. That's his 4th catch of the day, 100 yards, goes 61 yards there for the touchdown. Denver is up 14-7 early.
Spiro, I heard Solomon grimace groan all the way from there.
You have good ears, JB.
Man who appreciates good secondary play. What a massive breakdown there by the Steelers on 2nd and 10. That pass from McCarron a little bit out in front of Jeremy Hill. Still perhaps a catchable pass. It'll be 3rd and 10.
It's a catchable pass, there's no doubt. Maybe McCarron could make it a little easier on Jeremy Hill, but it hit him in the hands. Got to be able to make a grab. Now, deep inside their own territory, you're looking at 3rd 10 with a very young quarterback. I expect Eric Mangini to come after him. Maybe try to put some pressure on him, force him to throw one of those errant passes that led to an interception 1 week ago against Pittsburgh.
McCarron from the gun, Niners showing blitz. Here comes Bowman. McCarron's pass deflected up high in the air. It's a live football. It's caught. That's the rookie tight end, Tyler Kroft. It was tipped by Tony Gerard-Eddy, and that one went high in the air.
There you see, that's Navarro Bowman. They stunt to that side. Pressure in his face. He tries to come back clear to the other side. And you can see that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Nearly intercepted.
Dangerous scenario. Keep in mind, no Tyler Eifert today for the Bengals. Still recovering from the concussion. Would have been a nice little security blanket for McCarron, who's making his first start. Kevin Huber on to punt. And this is Bruce Ellington's going to play it from just inside the 40. Little stutter step, but good coverage down the field by the Bengals. 49 yards of the punt from Huber and 5 on the return by Ellington. NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLshop.com today and get a free shipping offer at the official store of the NFL, NFLshop.com. Happy holidays from all of us at CBS. Fans in a festive mood till this point, but not much to cheer about. 7 punts and just 4 total first downs between these two teams till this point. Robert on 1st and 10. Well thrown pass right over the middle. It's complete to Torrey Smith. Was a question mark today with an assortment of injuries. They pick up 16 and a first down.
Torrey Smith working against Trey Kirkpatrick. Is able to get underneath the defender. Really nice catch and run, and great throw from Blaine Gabbert.
Smith very familiar with Cincinnati during his time with Baltimore. Quick little bubble screen that's caught by Bolden as he is run out of bounds. So far, the catalyst for San Francisco has been drone.
John Drone, just like an unmanned aircraft, right? Going into enemy territory, throwing his body around, and really being very productive in the run game in the early going of this game. Giving this offense some rhythm and helping them to protect their quarterback, Blaine Gabbert. All starts with the run game and Sean Drones for the 49ers.
End up losing a yard on the play, so 2nd and 11. That pass errantly thrown, intended for Smith, and it will be 3rd and long coming up. Gabbert has certainly had accuracy issues over the course of his 5-year career.
Kershawn Drone even catching the ball out of the backfield. And if they can run the ball today, it'll keep the defense off balance. It'll help them to win the time of possession. I think it'll help Blaine Gabbert to manage this offense.
Penalty marker thrown from the bottom of your picture. This one against San Francisco.
Start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Second Niner wide receiver to be penalized on an offsides.
Just sloppy play. And Jim Tom Sula, he understands it. He knows it goes right back to the coaching in terms of having some discipline and some focus. And you see, just look at the ball. No anticipation. You don't have to be in a hurry. And Torrey Smith is a 5-year veteran. He should know better.
Second false start penalty, I should say, against the Niners wide receivers. And now multiple penalty flags come in from every direction. Looked like Geno Atkins may have come across prematurely.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 97. Jumped in the neutral zone, caused the offensive player to move. That's a 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
First penalty against Cincinnati. And this has been really an epidemic at this point. Most accepted penalties in the league since 1970, since the merger. 3rd most since 1970. And now it looks like Cincinnati wanted a timeout, so all kinds of confusion. Bengals will take their first timeout. Well, Salmon, you certainly expected them to struggle with A.J. McCarron making his first start, but this defense has allowed some gaping holes in the run game. And San Francisco is able to get a couple of first downs.
What have we been saying about this Bengals team all season long? That they're one of the most talented rosters in the National Football League. If there's any team that really, I think, can survive losing their starting quarterback, and it's not an ideal situation, but the Cincinnati Bengals should be able to rely on a veteran offensive line. They should be able to rely on the talented players at the wide receiver position and 2 talented running backs. They have talented tight ends. Even with Tyler Eifert out of today's game, they should still be able to manufacture offense with A.J. McCarron playing quarterback.
So the Niners get 5 yards back on the Cincinnati penalty. 3rd and 11 from around the 43. Gabbert from the gun. Here come the Bengals. Gabbert able to just get it off. It's picked off. Off the deflection, Adam Jones crosses the 40. 13 yards on the return. Big play for the Cincinnati defense.
Adam Jones, he's been chomping at the bit to get back on the field, and he makes Blaine Gabbert pay for throwing this ball late over the middle. Look at the pressure. They're bringing everyone to get to Gabbert. He forces it over the middle. It's tipped, and then Adam Jones comes down with it. And that's what they coach. Vance Joseph, the defensive back coach, defensive pass coordinator, want them to intercept all tips and overthrows, and we've seen Reggie Nelson come down with 8 of them, and Adam Jones gets him 1 there.
3rd pick of the season, 14th in the career of Adam Jones. Out last week with that foot injury. As they give the football back to McCarron. Play action on 1st and 10. This is Ryan Hewitt, the H-back. Good looking play call on 1st and 10. And it's going to take a while for Hugh Jackson to see what McCarron likes, what makes him comfortable as you see Jones on that sideline.
I think that kind of play, really quick hitting plays, coming off play action where it's one read, get rid of the football early.
Interesting bunch formation. Jeremy Hill, Hewitt, and Croft will get reset on 2nd and 1. Here's Hill. Needed the 48 for the first down. He's close. As that clock continues to run. And now the officials say first down, Bengals.
And Spiro, this is where you could expect the Bengals, I think, to be even more productive running the football. When they line up with Ryan Hewitt, one of their tight ends, at that traditional fullback position, lined up right in front of Jeremy Hill. Hill runs better and is more effective at running off the fullback, where he can read and make that one cut and get going downhill.
We saw McCarron on the sideline, so Mohamed Sanu, who was their emergency quarterback last week, takes the direct snap in the Wildcat. Sanu Little trickery from Jackson, showing this defense a different look. They pick up 2.
Remember, Sanu is a former quarterback, and he can throw for touchdown passes. He can run the reverse. We know he can catch it, but he's got a talented arm, and he can throw the ball with range and accuracy down the field. Here you see 2 career touchdown passes. Look, 5 for 5. So every time he throws it, he seems to find his target.
Sanu back in his usual spot here on 2nd and 8 with McCarron back on the field and working from the shotgun. Good pass protection. McCarron's going to sling it. Going deep down the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Marvin Jones. I love what Hugh Jackson said yesterday. He said there's a backyard element to this offense as they take some shots.
Yeah, and look, Marvin Jones, he can streak down the field. He doesn't get quite the separation. This ball is thrown a little bit to the outside, but if you're McCarron and you make the mistake of throwing that ball where you are not able to get it to your receiver, that's how you do it. You overthrow it where the defensive backs can't come down with it.
Bengals 0 for 4 today on 3rd down. Giovanni Bernard flanking McCarron on 3rd and 8. Niners coming to the blitz. Quick strike by McCarron, intended for Green. It falls incomplete. Jimmy Ward on the coverage for San Francisco.
Watch Jimmy Ward undercut this route. Comes right over the top of A.J. Green. Nearly was able to get himself into position to make the interception. The ball had to come out quick. It's what we call a hot route. If they're going to blitz, the ball's got to come out quick from McCarron. Jimmy Ward made an excellent play defending against A.J. Green.
Saw McCarron calling for the pass interference penalty. Felt like the contact from Ward came before the football arrived. No penalty, so Huber on to punt for the 4th time. Fair catch signaled by Ellington. And Brandon Tate unable to track it down before it crosses the goal line. 46-yard punt. Gabbert will have it from the 20 when we come back. Oh, what a stadium they've built here in Santa Clara. Feels like a hotel when you walk in. But unfortunately, these fans haven't had much to cheer about. A 4-9 record till this point for San Francisco. 1st and 10 from the 20. There is Travares Cadet on his first take. Penalty flag thrown from behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
That's Eric Piers, the 10th-year tackle. Boy, that NFC title that they won here at the end of the 2012-13 season feels like a distant memory, almost complete turnover since that point.
Yeah, they lost almost everyone on the offensive line except for left tackle Joe Staley, and then they lose 2 of the 4 linebackers, including Patrick Willis. And so when you lose so many core group of players that had helped you win so many games that have been battle tested, you're going to struggle.
On 1st and 20, that is Bolden again. Salmon, you could look at all the rookie coaches that we've seen over the years in the NFL. I'm not sure that a first-year coach has had more turbulence to deal with in his first season than Jim Tomsula has had this year.
And what did he tell us when we talked to him? He said, hey, I knew what I signed up for. He doesn't make any excuses. He said only one player who left this offseason had really surprised him. He pretty much knew what he was getting into, and he's determined to try to help this team turn it around.
Where does his offense go here on 2nd and 19? Gabbert, what a play on the pump fake to elude the sack. Here is Cadet. Makes the initial guy miss. Nifty little play on the catch and run. Gets up close to the 20. And the original line of scrimmage after a pickup of 9.
Yeah, pressure in the face of Blaine Gabbert. Michael Johnson's going to come loose right here, number 90. Can't get the sack, and then Gabbert gets rid of it, smartly so. The Bengals are swarming on defense, and someone's going to have to be able to make a play. You can see on 3rd down, it has not been a friend to either one of these offenses.
Only Denver is allowing fewer points per game than Cincinnati entering play today. Play clock down to 3. This is 3rd and 10. Gabbert, quick sling near side. It's caught. Bolden for the 1st down. Then it's taken away at the end of the play. No signal from the officials. That is Carlos Dunlap. And let's see what the call is here. And now they say it will be Cincinnati football. Dunlap just wrestles it away at the end of the play and returns it 21 yards as the officials now conference.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Cincinnati. First down.
Bolden made what appeared to be a first down catch before Dunlap comes up with a defensive gem.
Yeah, there's the catch. He made a football move, had put the ball away, and then Dunlap not only makes the tackle, he strips him, is able to come up with it. But there you see it. There's the catch. Ball is secure. He's making that football move. I thought he had possession and control as he made a football move.
Every turnover subject to automatic review, and that one clearly appears to be the right call. So the Niners turn it over.
What a play by Carlos Dunlap. You get the sense that that's what it's going to come down to with two inexperienced quarterbacks, that it's going to be up to the defenses to make the big-time plays for their coach.
Dunlap has had a monstrous season, sack each of the last 2 weeks, and what has been a career year. This is Hill on first down. Moves the pile inside the 10, picks up 3 yards as we move inside of 8 minutes.
And now A.J. McCarron, even though he's a young quarterback, has to be able to take advantage of the fact that the defense is creating turnovers and getting him great field position.
McCarron, 3-year starter at Alabama, led him to 2 national titles as a starter. As we get now more multiple flags before the ball was snapped.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 93. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
That's Ian Williams on the penalty. 6th penalty against the 49ers. Here the officials announce the eligible receiver for Cincinnati. Cedric Ogbuehi, the rookie tackle out of Texas A&M. 2nd and 3 after the penalty from inside the 5. This is Hill. Keeps those legs churning, but San Francisco's run defense again has made some adjustments, and so far holding as Navarro Bowman has another tackle.
Well, what they talk about, gap integrity, something that really failed Eric Mangini's defense 1 week ago. They gave up 230 rushing yards to the Cleveland Browns, and you knew they were going to work on it. It was a point of emphasis during the week, and so far they've shown improvement.
What does Hugh Jackson dial up here on 3rd and 2?
I'd go heavy play action as they're chomping at the bit to stop the run.
Pitch play to Jeremy Hill. Bounces outside, lunges end zone. No signal from the officials, appears to be just short. However, it will be a first down and goal for Cincinnati.
They try to get outside. Navarro Bowman in chase. There you can see they're just able to keep him from crossing that pylon. From this angle, you can't quite see it. But boy, it looked like he may have gotten it across. He's airborne, so he didn't step out of bounds. Oh, there it is, that left foot. That left foot stepped out of bounds before he could extend the ball beyond the pylon.
First 3rd down conversion by either team till this point. 1st and goal. Keep it on the ground. This is Jeremy Hill. And San Francisco pushes him backwards.
Oh, they're being stout. Quentin Dial, Ian Williams. They're very stout at the point of attack on the inside of that 49ers defense, where they had plenty of gaps and struggles to stop the run 1 week ago. They have been really good here today in the first half of this game. Sooner or later, you got to run play action.
2nd and goal. They keep pounding it away. That's Hill. Lunges towards the end zone. No signal from the officials. Appears to be short yet again.
And look how many red jerseys are getting pushed. Look, they're getting pushed on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and that one looked like it may be close.
Awfully close.
I thought I saw the ball break the plane of the goal line there, even though Navarro Bowman's got his hand on the ball. Now take a look right here. It broke the plane right there. I believe it did. Right there.
And now the challenge flag has been thrown out. Marvin Lewis getting the signal from his people upstairs in the booth. And an excellent challenge here by the Cincinnati head coach. Well, what a heady play, even if it did break the plane by Navarro Bowman to have his hand on the football like that.
Cincinnati has challenged the ruling in the field on the previous play that the runner was stopped short of the goal line. We'll review the play.
It was almost as if Navarro Bowman putting his hand on the ball shielded the view of the official.
The ruling on the field has been changed. The ball broke the plane of the goal line in the runner's left hand. It is a touchdown. Please set the game clock to 5 minutes and 16 seconds, please. 5:16. Cincinnati is not.
All right, let's bring in Mike Carey, our officiating expert from New York. Mike, you agree with the call?
I agree with the call. The runner was on bodies. It was clear that the ball was in his left hand. It broke the plane. I agree that it's a very difficult call from the sideline. The official can't see the ball. He needs to get in and confirm if he had it or not. But we see clearly with a shot right down the goal line that the ball has broken the plane. Great review and replay.
All right, Mike, so the 9th touchdown of the season for Jeremy Hill, 18th career rushing score. And the Cincinnati offense pounding it away with that running game, finally able to pounce it into the end zone.
Good use of replay. I don't know if you can really catch that real time.
Well, here's Mike Nugent, missed an extra point on opening day, but since that game has not missed. 40 of 41, make it 41 of 42 as they tack on the point after. Well, it was the defensive play made by Carlos Dunlap who set the table, and then the offense pounds it in with Jeremy Hill for 6. Well, this holiday season, the 49ers have teamed up with the Santa Clara Firefighters Foundation. They hosted a toy drive at the 49ers flagship store here at Levi's Stadium and will donate toys to children in need as part of the foundation's toy program event. Great cause there. As the 49ers right now down 7-0. Finally, our first scoring. We're just over 5 minutes to play before halftime. Spiro Ditas, Solomon Wilcots, Jay Feely, rest of our CBS crew from Santa Clara. Happy holidays. Good looking kick. Fielded right in the near corner of the end zone by Bruce Ellington. And now San Francisco's offense back onto the field. This Cincinnati defense, we've been talking about it, second in the league in points allowed. You see the franchise record, fewest points that they've allowed since 1977.
And they don't allow penetration into the red zone. They have the fewest drives into the red zone of any defense in the National Football League, only allowing 30. And they have not allowed a touchdown pass in their last 3 ball games. Paul Gunther, defensive coordinator, doing a well of a job getting this team ready for the playoffs.
2 takeaways in the last 2 49ers possessions. 1st and 10, they keep it on the ground. Bengals have never finished in the top 4 in the NFL in scoring defense, but they're certainly on pace to do it for the first time. Currently 2nd behind Denver.
Remember, Paul Gunther learned under Mike Zimmer, their previous defensive coordinator. Gunther's now in his 2nd season of leading this defense, and they're much better this year at getting pressure on the opposing quarterback. They've only given up a 100-yard rushing performance to only 1 running back this season, and that was Rawls of Seattle going back to Week 5.
And you saw the last 4 possessions by the Niners as this defense really starting to settle in, and they're coming for blood now. Vontaze Burfict burying Gabbert for the sack. Dumps him down close to the 10. 46th sack allowed by the Niners, most in the NFL.
There he is right there. He's coming. Unblocked. Able to get to the quarterback. And he really gives this defense, I think, the teeth, the energy, and the toughness to really go toe-to-toe with some of the best offenses in the NFL. He brings a certain energy to this defense that they just don't have without him.
First sack of the season for Burfict on 3rd and 18. This is Cadet just trying to pick up some positive yardage. Needed the 30 for the first down. They get only 6.
Well, you love the fact that after getting the turnover and the touchdown, they come on to pitch a 3 and out to get the ball right back for their offense. And this is how you dominate on the road, and it's how you go a long way into helping your young quarterback, A.J. McCarron.
2 takeaways for them. Solomon mentioned the fumble recovery by Dunlap. Adam Jones had the earlier interception. And this is an awfully short punt as he shanks it out of bounds, and Pinion going to be booed off the field. A rookie punter out of Clemson, whom they took with a 5th-round pick. It is an 18-yard punt and a short field for A.J. McCarron when we come back. On Thursday night, Bradley Pinion can only hope now that his defense can hold an 18-yard shanked punt before that last break. As A.J. McCarron comes back onto the field and starts from the 36. 9 punts between these two teams, all kinds of offensive struggles. Play action, McCarron slings it, and it is caught. Marvin Jones on a lunging catch right around the 17, 19 yards and a 1st down.
A.J. McCarron will tell you it was a better catch than it was a throw. This one he should have been able to hit Marvin Jones in stride, but Jones able to dig it out, not allow it to hit the turf. He goes down to make that catch, but he should have been able to catch that one and run with it.
And now Jim Tom Sula throws out the challenge flag.
I'm not so sure that's a smart use of a challenge. He could easily lose this one.
San Francisco is challenging the ruling on the field on the previous play of a completed catch. We'll review the play.
All right, they'll need conclusive video evidence to overturn. We'll take a break. 7-0 Bengals on CBS. All right, the call on the field, completed pass. Marvin Jones making an excellent effort to come back to that McCarron pass. You make the call.
Look, he gets his arms underneath the ball, and he controls it as he rolls over the top. Yeah, it touches the ground there, but I don't think he ever lost control over it. It was a tough catch. It was close, but Tom Sula's looking up at that scoreboard. He saw the play, and then he kind of like slapped his knee as if he knows maybe he should have maybe challenged on another play. I think he understands that this one may be upheld. Remember, it was ruled a catch down on the field.
Let's bring in Mike Carey, our officiating expert from New York. Mike, what do you see on this play? What would you call?
I see that this is really too tight to confirm or reverse. Remember, he has to have control before the ball hits the ground, but we never get a peek at the ball hitting the ground. So when it's this tight, it will be left on the field as it stands.
All right.
In my opinion, if I was in the field.
Yeah, I agree with Mike on that one. And it happened right in front of Coach Jim Tom Sula. You can see he's looking at that scoreboard. Whenever you get these kind of challenges, these opportunities, you're in your home stadium, they're going to continue to show it to all the fans and help the coach get a second look at it.
Yeah, the visiting coach always at a disadvantage in these instances. Here's
After
Torber.
review, the ruling on the field stands. San Francisco will be charged with their first timeout. Clock will start on the snap. There is no clock adjustment.
All right, so the 19-yard catch by Marvin Jones will stand, and the Bengals in business, 1st down and 10 from the 17. And Jim Tom Sula has struggled, to say the least, 0 for 6 on challenges this season.
He needs to get another guy up top, maybe helping him out with whether or not he should make those challenges.
McCarron with 3 teammates flanking him in the backfield. That's Jeremy Hill on the take, able to sneak inside the 15-yard line. Well, McCarron has had some accuracy issues in this first half. What have you seen from him so far?
Well, I think he is easing into it. It's all about your footwork, being able to calm yourself down. He did throw the ball, I think, wonderfully over the top on that 37-yard catch to A.J. Green, but it's the short passes that really, I think, have been giving him some trouble.
See Andy Dalton looking on from the sideline. 2nd and 7. 5 wide receivers. McCarron, quick strike over the middle. It's caught inside the 10. That's Mohamed Sanu on the catch. And it will be 3rd down coming up as we hit the 2-minute warning, a pickup of 6. 7-0 Bengals. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Coming up next, it'll be the Verizon Halftime Report. JB and the guys standing by in New York. Get you caught up on the scores and highlights around the league. All coming up next on the Verizon Halftime Report. 3rd and a short one. What do you expect here?
I expect some kind of play action, but you've got to take a shot, get the ball into the end zone. I know they want to run it, but they've been struggling to do so.
Jeremy Hill flanking McCarron on 3rd and 1. McCarron's going to go to the air. Short pass underneath. It's Marvin Jones spinning. Ball came loose at the end of the play. Officials are going to spot it inside the 1. It's a 7-yard pass play, and it will be 1st and goal Bengals.
Marvin Jones makes a nice catch in space, tries to get at that goal line, sticks the ball out. It comes out, but it's recovered by Mohamed Sanu before Navarro Bowman can scoop it up. He doesn't mind giving up his body to Marvin Jones, try to get that ball into the end zone. He wanted that touchdown badly.
Can't advance the football on a fumble, so they mark it where it came loose. 1st and goal inside the 1. McCarron struggled with the snap, gets it to Jeremy Hill, who's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the quarter.
How about that? That was an excellent play by McCarron. He nearly fumbled the snap from center, was able to control it, stick it in the belly of Jeremy Hill, and they do get movement up front against that stout San Francisco 49ers defensive line, and look, they're able to hit the crease. Running right behind the fullback, Ryan Hewitt. And that's right, you got to block Navarro Bowman. That's what Hewitt does. Watch the block by Hewitt, kind of holding a little bit on Navarro Bowman, but enough room for Hill to get it in.
Mike Nugent on for the point after. 5 plays, 36 yards in 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Keep in mind that shanked punt by Bradley Pinion, 18 yards. Gave McCarron and Cincinnati the short field. And McCarron leads him down back into the end zone.
And it's really about which team can help to settle down their quarterback. We talked about it, the team that can run the ball the best. I think that's where it's going to really help the young quarterback. Jeremy Hill, we said he had to be a factor in running the ball along with Giovanni Bernard, and it's gone a long way to help this offense. But great field position. Both touchdowns have come after turnovers.
Now those 2 San Francisco turnovers have been part of the storyline so far in this first half.
Yeah, there's a turnover, an interception by Adam Jones, and then this would really set up the first touchdown. I stand corrected because that was that 2nd turnover. It led to their first touchdown, and then it was after the shank punt by the San Francisco 49ers gave the Bengals excellent field position, and they were able to turn it into a touchdown.
Now, so much unknown leading into this game with A.J. McCarron, and we had a chance to visit with Marvin Lewis and so many of the Bengals yesterday, and after the initial shock of Dalton's injury wore off, there seemed to be a consensus in terms of excitement to see just what this kid A.J. McCarron could do in this kind of an opportunity.
Yeah, there was no sense of panic with the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's right. I think they believed in their preparation, their ability to train and develop their young quarterback.
There comes Ellington streaking up the sideline. Good-looking return, crosses the 30. A 34-yard run back as he is run out of bounds just shy of the 35. Now, time now for the wisdom of Solomon here in Week 15.
Take a look at some teams who went on to win Super Bowls with their backup quarterback. How about the New York Giants? After Phil Simms went down, they were able to win Super Bowl 25. Trent Dilfer replaced Tony Banks to help them to win Super Bowl 35 in the Patriots. That's right. Tom Brady replaced Drew Bledsoe. He would go on to win 4 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. And A.J. McCarron talked about it. He said, hey, Tom Brady did it. And those are the expectations he has for himself. I didn't think it was an overreach in confidence. This young man has an excellent pedigree. He knows what he expects of himself.
Well, if you play the quarterback position at Alabama, that is one of the most scrutinized positions, not only in college football, but really in sports in general. Certainly someone who is used to being under the microscope. Injured Bengal being escorted to the sideline. Let's go downstairs to Jay Feely.
Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick who went to his owners as a 4th-string player and said, I'm the best draft pick you ever made. If that's not confidence and cockiness, but that's what you want, Solomon, in your quarterback. Back to you guys.
How about that? Tom Brady making proclamations. The great ones have that sense of destiny for themselves.
First and 10 pass from Gabbert off the hands of the intended receiver, Quentin Patton, the third-year man out of Louisiana Tech, and Patton has struggled in his first half. Well, certainly some similarities in terms of the measurables between these two. And Cincinnati can only hope that he has a fraction of the success Brady has had in his career.
McCarron won a whole lot more at the collegiate level than Tom Brady. They were both drafted late.
On 2nd and 10, that pass is deflected high in the air and intercepted. It's Vontaze Burfict. Second interception off a deflection in the half, off the hands of Vance McDonald, as Burfict returns it 17 yards.
And we talked about the energy and the effort that Vontaze Burfict brings to this defense, playmaking ability. He has, I think, the potential to be a star in the National Football League. This ball bounces off the tight end, Vance McDonald, and watch Burfict. He's got a nose for the football, makes that diving catch, and then he gets back up. He's not done yet. Starts to run with it, setting the offense up for the Bengals to put more points on the board before halftime.
So Burfict with a sack and now an interception, his first pick of the season, as McCarron and company take over from the San Francisco 20. Up 14-0, looking for more. He's got his man wide open. It's the rookie tight end Tyler Kroft into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, they were able to make a great play. They read this one perfectly because the safety's going to drop down in the box, and then watch the tight end. See, as he comes here, the tight end's going to go to the vacated spot where the blitzing safety was. He's wide open. And look at A.J. McCarron. He read this one immediately. So there you see the young quarterback really picking this defense apart. We talked about those situational moments. I think Jay Feely talked about it at the beginning of the game, that Marvin Lewis instilled in practice to give A.J. McCarron some reps somewhere in practice. You can see it paying off on a play right there.
So Burfict's second career pick leads to a touchdown. First career touchdown for Tyler Kroft, making the start today for the absent Tyler Eifert. Still recovering from a concussion. And they like this kid. We asked Hugh Jackson about Kroft, a rookie third-round pick out of Rutgers, and he's saying he's growing on me. Last week, really the first time that Hugh saw him catch and run with it. And they're liking what they've seen from him.
The Bengals draft well, they develop players well, and then the coaches, they instill the confidence through preparation, and then they're able to go out and make plays.
Another reminder coming up, the Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Tony, Bart Boomer, and Coach Cowher standing by. Get you caught up around the league here in Week 15. All next on the Verizon Halftime Report. A.J. McCarron had 2 touchdown passes last week, so this is third in his limited reps. And so far, so good. No Andy Dalton, up 21-0 against this 49ers team that has struggled mightily this season.
So if your name is Tyler, your first name anyway, and you play tight end for the Bengals, you score touchdowns. Whether it's Tyler Eifert, Tyler Kroft, Andy Dalton, A.J. Green, the quarterbacks love throwing to the tight ends here with the Bengals.
Well, you certainly have to feel good for McCarron. Hasn't been a big statistical half for him, but very efficient. 8 of 12 for 102 yards. And that touchdown pass to Kroft. Under a minute left in the second. And this one is going to be played by Patton as he crosses the 15 out close to the 17-yard line. Well, here's what's in front of Cincinnati. A win today. They'll clinch a postseason berth as you see the updated postseason picture. Number 2 currently in the AFC behind New England, who was a winner today. Keep in mind, Cincinnati goes to Denver next weekend. And a win today by the Bengals clinches a postseason berth and the division for the first time, or third time, I should say, since '09.
How about that? 5 consecutive seasons in the postseason under Marvin Lewis. Should they clinch that division today. That's unprecedented. They've never had a streak of winning at this clip in their franchise history.
Gabbert from the gun as this Niners offense tries to get back on course, but he is sacked. Geno Atkins. And now this Cincinnati defense just pinning its ears back against Gabbert.
They're starting to make plays. They're playmakers, whether it's Adam Jones, whether it's Vontaze Burfict, and now Geno Atkins. He's one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. Came in with 8 sacks today and gets one there.
Atkins' second sack of this first half. Entered the day 3rd among all interior linemen with his sacks this season. And boy, he is all the way back from that devastating ACL injury sustained a couple of seasons back. Didn't quite see him at full strength last year. But he has had just a brilliant season for Marvin Lewis.
We saw Aaron Donald for the St. Louis Rams in that Thursday night game, and he's, you know, up for that defensive player of the year. And they talked to him about what player he likes the most in the NFL. He talked about Geno Atkins. They have that same build at 6'1", 300 pounds, but their quickness inside and their power to be able to get penetration in the opponent's backfield, I think makes them a handful to block.
Officials conferencing, able to sort through the confusion. Now the clock resumes. Could be the final play of the half. This is Cadet. It is brought down at the 13-yard line as that'll take us to the end of the first half. And San Francisco going to be booed off the field. Down 3 touchdowns. Couple of turnovers, multiple sacks by Cincinnati as we reach the end of the first half. 21-0 Bengals. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Halftime score here at Santa Clara, 21-0 Bengals. Moments ago, the 49ers honoring 2 of their past championship teams from Super Bowl 16 and 23. Joe Montana and Jerry Rice among the old-timers in the house. Well, our countdown to Super Bowl 50 continues as we take a stroll down memory lane. These 2 teams have met twice in the Super Bowl 16. Joe Montana named the game's MVP. Niners fought back and won it. Then in Super Bowl 23, Boomer Esiason facing the Niners, but could not stop the dynasty in progress as the Niners won their 3rd Super Bowl of the 80s. As we welcome you back to Santa Clara, our countdown to Super Bowl 50 continues. We will bring it to you right here on CBS. Bengals coming out for the start of the 3rd quarter, up 21-0 against San Francisco. And a reminder, you can follow your favorite team all season long. Just visit itunes.com/NFL as we welcome you back to the NFL on CBS here at Levi's Stadium. Spiro, Dita, Salman, Wilcox. We'll hear from Jay Feely in a moment. Cincinnati, we talked about the running game. Couldn't really get it going, but a couple of turnovers gets their offense going. Second half adjustments.
Well, I think, first of all, in the second half, what they have to do to adjust with that running game, and they have to be able to come out and try more misdirection or counter run plays as opposed to just slamming it into the line of scrimmage. They average 1.9 yards per rush attempt in the first half. And then if you're the 49ers, you got to be able to challenge that Bengals secondary with more deep passes down the field. You can see they're struggling to get the ball down the field, but down 21-0, you got to take shots.
Blaine Gabbert, 11 of 17 in the first half, but a couple of picks. Not to mention the strip and recovery by Carlos Dunlap to set up one of their 3 touchdowns. Bengals will have some good field position. Brandon Tate scurries past the 20, just crossed the 25. A return of 28 yards. We go downstairs, bring in Jay Feely.
Well, guys, I talked to Marvin Lewis. He was not satisfied at all. Said we need to run the ball in this second half. He was happy with his defense getting the turnovers, but they're planning for bigger things. So he wants to see his team come out and play much better and be able to run the ball. Jim Tomsula said, just catch the ball. Not unhappy with his quarterback play, but his team needs to be able to make the plays. Guys?
Couple of Pittsburgh guys. Jim Tomsula from Homestead, Pennsylvania, just outside downtown Pittsburgh, and Marvin Lewis from McDonald. Some of the great football names that have come out of that region of the country. 1st and 10, first play of the second half. McCarron nowhere to throw down the field. Wisely just throws it out of bounds and lives to see another day. Eli Harold, the linebacker, applying the pressure. Here were the first half possessions, Solomon, for Cincinnati.
Yeah, you can see they struggled on their first 5 possessions where they had to punt on 4 of those first 5. But then as the defense started to create turnovers and errant, or I should say big-time errors on special teams, given the Bengals great field position, they score on 3 consecutive possessions.
Bengals just 35 yards rushing in the first half. And again, the Niners, as a late flag comes in at the end of the play, Jimmy Ward able to get Bernard behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, what a difference a week makes in terms of the San Francisco run defense. Loss of 3 if it stands. Looks like it will.
Holding. Offense, number 81. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 3rd down.
Tyler Croft on the penalty. A.J. McCarron, first career start.
Just doing a good job of managing the offense and not making mistakes. Really just taking the ball, getting it out quick, and then accurately down the field on a 37-yard pass to A.J. Green. And then how about the 20-yard touchdown strike to close out the first half to Tyler Croft.
Told you earlier, 2-time national champion in Alabama. Part of the 3rd championship team, was the backup behind Greg McElroy. 3rd and 13. McCarron puts some air underneath it. It is caught. That's Marvin Jones on the first down catch. Out past the 35. They move the chains, a pickup of 16.
Had plenty of time. They protected. They were able to pick up the blitzing Navarro Bowman and then watch him drive this ball from one hash clear to the boundary over to the other side. Able to get the ball over to Marvin Jones against Acker, Kenneth Acker, the defensive back covering on that possession, but showing us good arm strength on that play by A.J. McCarron.
See the breakdown in distance of his throws till this point. 1st and 10. That is Bernard. Told you at the top of the show, Bernard 5th in the NFL in average yards per rush. He's been so deadly both as a runner and a pass catcher. When he's been healthy, Solomon, Bernard has been one of the best all-around backs in the NFL.
Well, he's one of those running backs I think is a difficult matchup for defenses, particularly in the passing game where linebackers struggle to cover him. But, you know, he can break off long runs. He runs it good for a smaller running back, runs really well in between the tackles.
Rex Burkhead inserted here by Hugh Jackson. Lines up bottom of your screen pre-snap. That's Bernard on the catch. Until to this point has not been able to break free, as Bernard is just able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
There are a lot of teams that would love to have a player like Giovanni Bernard in their backfield because he does so many things well. And even if you would like to maybe classify him as a 3rd down back, you can't do it because he's averaging 5.1 yards per carry. We already said he can run it in between the tackles. He can get outside and run it. And he's done a really good job of picking up the blitzing linebackers today.
3rd and 8. 4 wides for Cincinnati. McCarron, little bubble screen to the tight end Croft. The rookie, first down catch and run. Late flag comes in from the Niners secondary. 12 yards on the pass play if it stands.
If you catch and run in practice, your coordinator will design plays like that for you if you're Tyler Croft.
Holding. Offense, number 82. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
Marvin Jones, the man penalized.
Yeah, he's on the outside working against Kenneth Acker right here. Now, you got to keep your hands inside. You get them outside the shoulders right there. Both hands. Officials aren't going to miss it.
So the 12-yard pass play negated. 3rd and 8. McCarron slings it down the far side. He's got his man. It's caught. Marvin Jones atoning for the penalty. Second long completion by McCarron. First down pickup of 47.
Throughout his career, Marvin Jones has shown he is a deep threat as a wide receiver in the NFL. He beats Kenneth Acker. He's able to get inside, and that time McCarron was able to keep it inside, threw a nice ball down the field. Again, his arm strength is better than what most people thought.
Longest play by either offense in this game. And now it looks like the Bengals
Ball start.
are
Offense,
whistled for a penalty
71.
again.
5-yard penalty. First down.
That'll draw the ire of Marvin Lewis. So McCarron had a 37-yarder to A.J. Green earlier. As you see the plays in opponent's territory today, and now the 47-yarder to Marvin Jones.
Yeah, we said Bengals defense don't allow many trips inside the red zone. They're not even allowing this 49er offense to cross the 50-yard line.
8th play of the drive. 1st and 15 from the Niners 17. McCarron fakes the initial pass, tucks it away, will run it. Just barely able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Fascinating to see how McCarron navigates his way through this game. He's got the comfort of a 3-touchdown lead. And until this point has not made any glaring mistakes as Dalton looks on.
Yeah, Dalton, he kind of flashed a smile to Dalton. You know, Dalton's one of the best red zone quarterbacks in the NFL. You could see some of that rubbing off on A.J. McCarron on that play. He didn't throw it into a crowd of defenders, decided to keep it himself and just ran it out of bounds and lived to fight another day. Just made a really good decision on that play.
McCarron under center, 2nd and 15, pitch to Bernard. Chopped down as Bernard crosses the 15. The consensus talking to the Bengals, Marvin and some of the players, is how bad they felt for Dalton. Certainly how much it hurt them as a team, but a guy who's taken so many lumps from the media for postseason shortcomings, and to have the season he's had to get hurt at that point, just unfortunate for him.
Everyone feels bad for him, and even A.J. McCarron told us that, hey, I'm very deferential to Andy Dalton. He's the leader of the team. But I love what McCarron had to say. He said, but you know what, right now, I'm the guy. It's my time now, and I'm the one on the field. I have to make plays. I love the fact that he's taken over some ownership and leadership of this team.
Big play here from McCarron on 3rd and 12. From the gun, over the middle, incomplete.
Oh,
Bernard in the vicinity, and now the flag comes in. Navarro Bowman on the coverage of Bernard.
Pass interference. Defense number 53. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Yeah, you're going to see Bowman right there. Now watch. He'll grab Giovanni Bernard, number 25, coming out of the backfield. See right there. He's able to grab that jersey ever so slightly. And that's why he was penalized on the play.
Any kind of contact beyond 1 yard from the line of scrimmage will draw the flag. Well, that's a tough cover for Bowman and any linebacker. Trying to stay with a guy as elusive out of the backfield as Bernard is. So fresh set of downs, 1st and goal. They'll mark it just inside the 10. What a long road back it's been for Bowman. Devastating knee injury in the NFC title game back in January of 2014. Missed all of last season, which is certainly a candidate for the NFL's comeback player of the year. 2nd in the league in tackles entering today. 1st and goal. This is Hill. Moves the pile, gets close to the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Never seen that 21-0 lead. You just get the sense that the Bengals are still trying to work and improve in some areas. And one of those areas, I think, is their run game. The 49ers have been stout at the point of attack. We said one of the second-half adjustments for Marvin Lewis and this offense. As you can see, they've been productive inside the red zone. Some misdirection and counter run plays as opposed to slamming it inside.
Long drive for Cincinnati, nearly 6 minutes. 2nd and goal, Hill. Nifty little cutback maneuver tackled by Bowman. There's been a one-man show for the Niners till this point.
This is what we call counter play. Look, they're going to pull these guys backside, and then they start one way, but then see how he starts one way, but then come back the other way? That's to create better blocking angles, but they miss on Navarro Bowman. Clint Bowling, number 65, he missed on the block, or they would have had themselves a rushing touchdown.
Bengals have converted 4 straight 3rd downs after starting 0 for 5. 3rd and goal from the 4. McCarron from the gun. Goes through his progressions, throws end zone, incomplete. Trying to locate A.J. Green. Green playing with that tweaked back that he hurt yesterday in their walkthrough here. Coverage by Jimmy Ward.
Yeah, he'll start inside as he comes out. Look, Ward has good coverage here. And I think McCarron put that ball where he should have. Way to the outside, and then just throws it away. You can see Hugh Jackson over there coaching up the young quarterback.
Green spending a lot of time with McCarron during the week as they started getting together soon after that game against the Steelers last Sunday. McCarron asking his wide receivers to come in a day earlier than they usually will Tuesday morning. Spent a lot of time in their meeting room. All to try to get ready for this one here in Santa Clara. 24-0 as Nugent is able to salvage 3 points. Tuesday on CBS, a pill makes him a crime-solving genius, and the FBI has made him their greatest asset. Don't miss the new hit drama, Limitless, Tuesday, 10/9 Central, only CBS. Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara. A lot of Santa Clauses are out. Happy holidays. Just a couple of days away from Christmas. Boy, how about that way to start the second half? A drive of 70 yards in over 6 minutes as Mike Nugent converts a 22-yard field goal. Blaine Gabbert will have it from the 20 as they still look for their first points. Well, the Niners played Miami in Super Bowl 19, about 20 miles from where we are here at Stanford Stadium in Palo Alto. But that certainly seems like a distant memory. Niners' longest drive that they've had today has been 5 plays, 24 yards. This offense right at the bottom of the NFL in most major categories continues to struggle. We go downstairs to Jay Feely.
Well, it's not getting any easier for the 49ers. The running back, Sean Drone, ruled out for the game with a knee injury, so they'll have to do it without him, guys.
All right, Jay, thanks. Kendall Gaskins is the next man up. First-year man out of Richmond, whom they acquired in free agency from the Giants. Only 12 carries for Gaskins entering play today. Here he is on 2nd and 10. And the boos continue to come down from this home crowd.
Well, it's a young San Francisco 49ers football team. 24 players have less than 2 years experience. Remember, there was a mass exodus after Coach Harbaugh left. They had players retired, some defected via free agency, and they're trying to find a whole new group of players to build around here in San Francisco.
It's about as quiet an NFL stadium as you'll ever see. 3rd and 10, Gabbert from the gun. Nowhere to throw, he's going to run it. This has been an area where Gabbert has been improved since his stint in Jacksonville. A little bit more mobile as a quarterback, but runs out of bounds short. Tackle credited to Reggie Nelson as the Niners will punt.
Yeah, that's one of the things we talked about, Spiro. You know, he was always athletic and mobile, but just he would sort of become paralyzed. He would just sit in the pocket when he was in Jacksonville, and he would take one sack after another, and he has sped up that internal clock that tells him, hey, you got to get out of there. If you're not going to throw it, you can't stand in the pocket. You got to take off and make something happen with your legs.
6th punt by Pinion in this game. Here's Adam Jones fielding the punt, breaks a couple of tackles, and works awfully hard for a 3-yard return after a 55-yard punt from Pinion. It's hard to believe with Week 16 coming up. A.J. McCarron, 12 of 28, $175, and a touchdown. And he keeps it on the ground. This is Jeremy Hill on 1st and 10. Salman, you look at the Bengals, you know, they're so well set up at this point as they approach a division title, but considering some of the unrestricted free agents they have at the end of the season, the urgency for them to win this year is very great.
Yeah, think of the names on that list. Take a look at it. Marvin Jones, Mohamed Sanu. Look at the secondary members. Leon Hall, Adam Jones, George Iloka, Reggie Nelson, all expected to be unrestricted free agents this offseason. That's 3/4 of their starting secondary.
2nd and 1 after the run play by Hill. A little cutback maneuver, has the first down rush and more. There's so much incentive for Andy Dalton, who's struggled, still looking for his first postseason win, and Marvin Lewis, who's 0 for 6 as a head coach in the NFL playoffs.
Need that guy right there at his best, A.J. Green. We were told yesterday that he tweaked his back as they had a practice here out on the West Coast yesterday, and he's been dealing with that back injury, a slight little injury here today.
1st and 10 Bengals. Hewitt in motion. This has been a run-heavy offense till this point, as Hill picks up a minimal 1 yard on that play. Let's go downstairs. Good morning, A.J. Green with Jay.
Well, good news for the Bengals. No additional injuries for A.J. Green. They're just being cautious. They have a 24-0 lead. They know that they're playing for a lot more, and they're going to be careful with him.
Yeah, and they do have depth at that position. We already talked about it with Mohamed Sanu. Marvin Jones has shown his ability to get behind the defense, and Brandon Tate is also a really good player who's been in the league for 7 years.
McCarron on 2nd and 9. Screen pass. This is Bernard. A lot of real estate. First down on the catch and run, and taking on a tackler. What a hit on the safety, Eric Reed, at the end of that play. And Bernard was kind of standing over him. 14 yards and a first down. That's been the kind of day it's been.
We told you he was more than just a third down back. Look at the power here. Little man wins the fight. Giovanni Bernard. You know, Hugh Jackson, he loves his skill set. That of Giovanni Bernard. Speed, quickness, but you can see the toughness is also there.
And that Eric Reed, pretty good player. The guy they took 18th overall back in 2013. Bengals will burn their first time out. All Bengals late 3rd quarter on CBS. Well, Niners fans just trying to keep warm here on a blustery day, last day of fall. Temperatures in the 40s here in Santa Clara. 1st and 10. Bengals inside Niners territory. Here's Hill. Ball comes loose. It's still loose. And San Francisco with its first big defensive play. Ian Williams falling on the football. And finally something for these fans to cheer about.
Wow, they try to pull the right tackle, Andre Smith. He gets knocked back right there, right into Jeremy Hill. Ball comes out. Ian Williams, one-man wrecking crew on that run play. Says they try to pull the tackle. And if you're Andre Smith, you can't allow yourself to get knocked back that way. Knocked right back into Hill. Hill doesn't protect the football, puts it on the ground, and Williams scoops it up.
Well, Hill has had ball security issues, had the 2 fumbles lost in a game against San Diego back in week 2, got him benched. And their first turnover here to give the Niners the football. Here's Bolden on a first down catch. Bolden stays in bounds. Stumbles inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. As suddenly the Niners showing some life. Missed tackle by Adam Jones.
So we have a fumble, the turnover. We have a blown coverage as Anquan Bolden was left wide open. And then a missed tackle. And now the 49ers are knocking on the door for their first points of the day.
29 yards in the play. Longest play of the day for San Francisco. 1st and 10. Gabbert throwing towards the end zone, too high and incomplete for McDonald.
I think McDonald just lost sight of the football. That ball was catchable. It's a good throw. You're going to see it. There you see McDonald on the right side of your screen. Watch this ball come in. Now he's trying to get his head around to find the ball. Look, he doesn't extend. Doesn't make a play for the ball. I thought Gabbert put it in good position for him to extend both arms and haul it in.
McDonald becoming more of a focal point since the trade of Vernon Davis back in early November. 2nd and 10. Gabbert goes underneath. This is Gaskins. Close to the end zone. Run out of bounds there. And it will be 1st and goal. San Francisco, 14 yards on the catch and run.
Another missed tackle right in the flat. Took Adam Jones to get him out of bounds right there. Fontez Burford had a first shot at him. They couldn't get him out of bounds. Gaskin caught it, was running hard.
Injured player is Vontez Burfict, and we saw him leave the game against Pittsburgh last week a couple of times. He's had a history with the head and neck injuries, a couple of stingers in that game. This is his 8th game since returning from the long layoff after the microfracture surgery on his knee. And now the athletic trainer is coming off from across the field to look at Burfict. Bengals telling us Vontaze Burfict had the wind knocked out of him, expected to return. P.J. Dawson, their rookie third-round pick out of TCU, replaces him. 1st and goal. Gaskins on the take. No signal from the officials. Appears to be just short of the end zone.
And Dawson came off the corner, was able to get at the feet of Gaskin. There you see P.J. Dawson right there, able to grab the legs initially. And I don't know, did his knee hit the ground? Because that ball appeared to have broken the plane, but I'm not so sure it happened before his knee touched down. There's a look at it right there. Knee down, yep, before the ball hit the goal line.
3 tight ends on 2nd and goal. Late marker comes in. Officials signaling appeared to be a touchdown signal, but penalty flags thrown from the back part of the end zone.
Looked like Emmanuel Lemure.
12 men on defense.
There you go.
Number 59. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Touchdown San Francisco. That won't make Marvin Lewis very happy. So Kendall Gaskins coming on in relief of the injured Sean Drone, who left with a knee, as they bang it in for the touchdown. Bruce Miller able to pound it in, the fullback getting the take.
Just hand it to the fullback. He's the closest man to the line of scrimmage, able to get in quickly before the linebacker Ray Maualuga can get there to stop him.
First career rushing touchdown for Miller in his 5th season out of Central Florida, former 7th-round pick. Miller does have 3 receiving touchdowns in his career. Phil Dawson on the point after, and Jeremy Hill not happy after his fumble set the table for that touchdown. Let's send you to New York, get an update with JB and Tony.
One of the league's top combinations.
Yeah, you're going to see Big Ben Roethlisberger hit his favorite target, Antonio Brown, for the 8-yard touchdown. That's his 8th on the year. Trying to get back into it. Score now, 27-20.
7:16 remaining in the third. Spiro and Solomon.
All right, that game, all kinds of postseason implications. Steelers starting the day in the hunt for that final wild card spot. Chiefs red hot, get the win. We saw the Jets win last night. But it's going to come down to a couple of interesting weeks to close out the regular season.
Get the sense in that game between Denver and Pittsburgh, either way, it sort of helps the Bengals, because if Denver loses, then of course the Bengals get even closer to securing that number 2 seed in the AFC playoff picture. And then if Pittsburgh loses, it kind of get the Steelers off their heels a little bit, give them a little bit more breathing room, even though a win here today could take care of all that for the Bengals.
Bengals win today. They clinch a postseason berth, clinch the division, and move one step closer to a potential bye that they covet, especially with some of the injuries that they have. That's Tate, crosses the field across the 20. Good return of 22 yards brought down by Kenneth Acker. Coming up next Sunday, the NFL on CBS runs out rivalries. One matchup will pit Tom Brady and the Patriots against Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Jets. Massive game there. Some of you will see the Steelers and the Ravens. Check your local listings, beginning with your Super Bowl 50 team. JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer on the NFL today. Well, here are the current top 3 seeds in the AFC. Bengals, well, they need that bye badly to try to get Dalton an extra week of rest.
Absolutely, that's what the coaches are talking about. But first, they've got to go through Denver next week.
Top 2 seeds will have that first round bye. Bernard brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Multiple flags behind the play.
Holding. Offense number 61. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's the center, Russell Bodine. You'll see him right there. Take a look at it. Got to move your feet, but then you can't hook. That's Ian Williams. He's already been causing enough fits for this Bengals offensive line today.
So 1st and 20 after the penalty. Bernard, the lone setback, flanks McCarron. With just under 3 minutes left in the quarter. McCarron keeps it underneath. This is Bernard. Minimal gain. And now late flag. Well, there's a reason why a team is 4-9. Many reasons, but that kind of a mistake, certainly one of them. Corey Lemonier on the penalty.
Dead ball. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 98 of the defense. 15 yards.
He meant 96,
the end of the play,
right?
Automatic first down.
There it is. Yeah, he meant number 96, Corey Lemonier. You know, Giovanni Bernard got physical with one of the other defensive players, and you can see Navarro Bowman, he's the leader on this defense. He says, hey, can't have that. And then trying to straighten him out just to get him to understand that it's a senseless penalty.
Lemonier, one of their third-round picks in 2013, so the penalty makes it 1st and 10 from the 27. There's Bernard, crosses the 30. Now, speaking about buys in Cincinnati, they have not had a first-round postseason bye since 1988. Solomon, something you know about very well. If they do get the bye, that would give them 5 weeks of healing for Andy Dalton and a little bit closer to full strength.
Yeah, and they're going to need Andy Dalton. Let's face it. And A.J. McCarron can get them through these games, but I think it's a lot to put on A.J. McCarron if you think he's going to take you deep. In the postseason, they have better chances of doing that, getting that postseason bug off their back with Andy Dalton under center.
2nd and 4. Now the Bengals continue to try to pound it out as a flag comes in again behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense number 61. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Their 2nd penalty on Bodine. Well, it's Andy Dalton enjoying a career season. And one of those Cincinnati fans starting to appreciate him a little bit more.
You know, they booed him during when they were hosting the Major League Baseball All-Star game, and he was a representative of the city. They booed him. I think he's carried that as a chip on his shoulder to really prove to the entire city, to everyone around the National Football League, what kind of player he can be. But you can see those numbers in the playoffs. That's, I think, maybe that next hurdle in the future of Andy Dalton, to prove he can get it done in the 2nd season.
Rex Burkhead inserted in the slot towards the bottom of your picture. Fake handoff from McCarron. Quick strike is taken by Mohamed Sanu. Niners defense wasn't fooled. Ahmad Brooks on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down.
Ahmad Brooks was originally drafted in a supplemental draft by the Cincinnati Bengals. Began his career playing for Marvin Lewis and this Bengals team. He was able to leave via free agency. There were several other players defensively had played here. Justin Smith was another player that had been drafted by the Bengals, that played for these great 49ers teams as of late.
Brooks, a 2-time All-Pro and 2-time Pro Bowler. Last selected in 2013. 3rd and 12. It's a loss of 10, and Cincinnati will punt.
McCarron never saw him coming because he comes late and he comes from that backside there. And as McCarron was looking to his right, and look, he never saw Ward. We talk about blitz recognition and understanding of defensive fronts. Some of it just comes over time. You need to catalog a number of plays to develop that kind of experience.
First sack of the season for Ward. The 2nd-year safety out of Northern Illinois. This is Ellington's going to play it from just across his 40. Ellington across the 45, ahead close to the 47. 8 yards on the return and a 46-yard punt from Huber. Coming up Saturday, 2 8-win teams head to the postseason when the Miami Hurricanes take on the Washington State Cougars in the Sun Bowl right here on CBS Sports. 24-7 Cincinnati with 8 seconds to play in quarter number 3. Some of your statistical leaders till this point. Not much in the way of running the football through the first 3 quarters. 1st and 10. Gabbert Pass protection, nowhere to throw the football. Late flag comes in. Geno Atkins able to get the late pressure.
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Marcus Martin, who today slides over from center to guard for the injured Alex Boone. 4th holding penalty against San Francisco.
He was working against Geno Atkins. Needs some help trying to block Geno.
Start of the 4th quarter, 24-7. So much talk this week about that listless performance by Jim Tomsula's team in Cleveland last week. They have followed it up with another disheartening performance so far, down 24-7. Another drop pass. That one just bounces off the pads of Kendall Gaskins. So this very difficult situation for everyone involved. New head coach, and look at all the defections during the offseason.
Yeah, Frank Gore. You lose the leadership of Anthony Davis in that locker room, and Patrick Willis and Justin Smith, 2 of the best defensive players in this league, also left the team. And great coaches also left. Not just Coach Jim Harbaugh, but Vic Fangio, a defensive coordinator, one of the best offensive line coaches, and Mike Solari and Ed Donatel also left. When you lose the players on that list and other assistant coaches also, it's like a brain drain, a talent drain that Jim Tomsula no longer has at his disposal. And so this team is certainly under reconstruction. They have to go out and replace that talent you saw.
Injured Niner is Marcus Martin, their usual center, who today again is playing guard. Former 3rd-round pick out of USC, 2nd NFL season, as the San Francisco athletic trainers have come onto the field. Alex Boone, who with Joe Staley has been the best player on this offensive line, out today due to injury.
Yeah, I don't see what happened there. Looked like he tried to cut one of the linebackers downfield. Ray Mawaluga was coming over to say something to him, and Vontaze Burfict said, hey, stay away, as Martin is still down on the play. Right there, he was trying to cut one of the defenders.
When Martin was making a dangerous play, and he turns out to be the guy who gets hurt. It's been one of the officiating focuses this season, cut blocks. Certainly in that kind of scenario, away from the play. We'll try to get an update on Martin as quickly as we can. So 20-47 Bengals. This will be a 2nd and 10 from the Niners 36. Daniel Kilgore has come on for Martin at guard. 2nd and 20. That pass is caught. It's Blake Bell, the tight end. Former 4th-round pick out of Oklahoma. 2nd catch of the day. He had only 10 entering this game today. Let's go downstairs to Jay.
Hey guys, I had a chance to talk to Al Guido, the CEO for the 49ers beforehand. They knew what they were getting into when they had all the defections. Said they underestimated a little bit the impact that it had in the locker room, specifically a lack of leadership. Solomon, you've talked about that. But I think they're confident with Jim Tomsula going forward.
3rd and 12. So Tomsula just continues to labor through what has been such a difficult season for him, his first as a head coach. That pass is incomplete, intended for Cadet. Solomon, you're already starting to hear some of the whispers here about Tomsula's future with this team, and boy, how cruel that would be to cut short his tenure here after everything he's had to deal with this season.
I think how they finish off the season, that's going to be huge. Even a game like today, when you cannot lose home games, getting down 24-0. This is a beautiful stadium. They have luxury suites to sell. They have tickets to sell. To be able to fill up this stadium, it's imperative. So it's going to have to, I think, come down to a business decision as well as a competitive decision.
That punt fair caught by Tate. 44 yards in the punt by Pinion. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play and score, every game, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now, cbssports.com/mobile. Opening minute, fourth quarter. Spiro Ditas, Almond Wilcox, Jay Feely, rest of our CBS crew from Santa Clara, where it has been all Cincinnati till this point. 24-7. Jeremy Hill getting close to the 15. Well, A.J. McCarron, couple of picks in his first extended appearance last week, but today Solomon improved decision-making so far.
Yeah, this is one of the throws he wished he had back last week after throwing the pick 6 in that game against Pittsburgh today. Wanted to make better decisions. If you could just avoid those disastrous throws, and you can see him today making better decisions, throwing the ball out of bounds, not forcing it into coverage, eating it down inside the red zone, living to fight yet another day. Doesn't want those critical errors. 2 interceptions 1 week ago, none here today.
On 2nd and 7, McCarron all day to throw, but that what you call a coverage sack. Ian Williams finally able to get to McCarron. It's a well played by that Niners secondary down the field.
And then he had to eat that one. Now take a look as we roll this, because look, he wants to go, look, stop it right there. You'll see every single guy, they're locked up in coverage. Now, because he's not out of the pocket, he can't just throw it away. He's got to eat it, take a sack, but don't force the ball into coverage and risk the interception.
3rd team sack by the Niners today. And that sets up a 3rd and 14 for Cincinnati. Handoff taken by Bernard. Just trying to get their punter Huber some breathing room. Tackle on the play by Eli Harold, the rookie linebacker.
Yeah, they didn't block Eli Harold coming off that weak side. Giovanni Bernard could see him in his peripheral vision. Still couldn't get away from him.
You see Keith Wenning, who's their backup quarterback today, called up this week from their practice squad. And Huber, the 7th-year punter, gets off a nice kick. This is Ellington. Breaks the initial tackle. Ellington brought down at the 40. 54 yards on the punt. 6-yard return tackled by P.J. Dawson. Early stages, fourth quarter, Levi's Stadium. That has been awfully quiet today. 24-7 Bengals in front. 1st and 10, Blaine Gabbert from the shotgun. They'll keep it underneath. Little screen pass to Kendall Gaskins. There's so much history between these two, the ties that run so deep. We've been talking about the 2 meetings in the Super Bowl, and Bill Walsh, who had his 2nd job as a coach in football right here with Cincinnati back in the late 60s.
Served as the first offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals when the team was founded in '68 under Paul Brown.
2 of the iconic names in pro football history, Paul Brown and Bill Walsh. Quentin Patton on a 16-yard reception for the first down.
Yeah, nice catch there by Patton. Looks like they've got some movement now on offense for the 49ers.
Inside Cincinnati territory for one of the few times in this game. Gabbert has time, and that pass was nearly picked. Boy, that would have been the 6th consecutive game that Reggie Nelson has had an interception, this incredible stretch that he's been on.
In his 9th season, defensive back coach Vance Joseph made a real good, I think, strategic move in just playing Reggie Nelson with greater depth, where he could see more, react and respond, and come up with the football.
Gabbert on 2nd and 10. Goes underneath again to Gaskins. Nelson tied for the longest streak in franchise history with the interceptions. Carolina's Kurt Coleman saw his streak end today. Also had a pick in 5 straight games, but just an incredible season that Nelson has had.
What did Marvin Lewis tell us? He told his secondary members, we don't pay for incompletions. If that ball goes down the field 30 yards or more, it's got to be ours. We got to come down with interceptions. And Reggie Nelson has heard his coach and responded.
Niners 0 for 9 on 3rd downs today. Make it 0 of 10 Needed only a yard, but Gabbert a little bit too high with that pass intended for the rookie tight end Bell.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, Reggie Nelson was coming downhill as if he was going to intercept that one. Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down. Gabbert wants another shot at it. It's only 4th and 1. Given what the score is and where their record is right now, may as well go for it.
Bruce Miller, the fullback, lines up in front of Gaskins. I formation. Miller on the take, and he does have enough for a San Francisco 1st down.
I love the way Miller ran on this play. Watch, he doesn't just plunge in there. Watch his footwork. Watch how he keeps his head up, able to slide off that left tackle area. And see how he slides his feet to come down the line to find that soft spot. He's able to get outside of number 50, A.J. Hawk, where he's able to pick up 1 yard to gain the 1st down.
Miller had the touchdown earlier for the Niners. Got some a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Little jump throw on that play from Gabbert, and completes to Gaskins for a dozen and another 1st down.
Well, you like the way that they're moving right now. Gabbert's making good decisions of where to go with the football.
This is a 49ers offense that has just 19, making 20 touchdowns on the season, fewest in the NFL. And as Gabbert nowhere to go, just throws it out of bounds. Pressure applied by Dunlap.
Smart play, yeah. Dunlap was coming, and then on the delayed blitz by Reggie Nelson, Gabbert knew he had to just throw this away. Look, 2 defenders stalking him. Just throw it out of bounds.
Now, one thing we have seen improve today for San Francisco offensively has been pass protection. Allowed 9 sacks in Cleveland last week. Today have given up 2. 2nd and 10. Gabbert going towards the end zone, incomplete for Smith, but multiple flags coming in. It was Drake Kirkpatrick on the coverage. He's had a fine season for this defense.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 27, 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
You're going to see him right down here, but watch it right there at the top of the route. See, he grabs right there, and that's where the officials are going to call it. Now, you can hit him within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, but as that receiver is beginning to run away and make separation, even though you're within 5 yards, you can't grab him as he's leaving you.
Marvin Lewis raved about Kirkpatrick, says that he's raised his game mentally, and he's been one of our stalwarts as he has played like a pro this season. 1st and 10. Gabbert's going to run it. Another flag thrown. This one coming behind the line of scrimmage.
Geno Atkins complaining, other defensive linemen complaining. I think they caught 2 offensive linemen holding for the 49ers. They're trying to figure out which one to call it on.
Take your pick.
Bengals defensive line can be a handful.
Holding, offense number 71, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's Eric Pierce on the penalty.
And he was working against Carlos Dunlap. You know, Dunlap has himself 10.5 sacks this season, but there you see right there, 71. Oh, he's working against Geno Atkins. You can see that hand to the face. Yep, they were able to capture it.
Pierce coming over in free agency from Buffalo during the offseason. 10th NFL season out of Colorado State. 9th play of the drive, 1st and 20 after the penalty. Gabbert over the middle for the crossing pattern, incomplete. Intended for Ellington, who's calling for the flag. It never came. Perfect on the very tight coverage.
Now watch Burfict. He will undercut it. He doesn't grab him. And see, you can have a hand on him. You just can't twist the intended receiver and turn that shoulder. And he's able to undercut it and get an arm on the football. That's excellent coverage. He was moving his feet. And what a big man. I mean, he's 250 pounds, but you can see how well he moves in coverage.
Boy, what an addition Burfict has been. His status was really in doubt after that microfracture surgery. Lengthy delay in coming back. But he has come back with a vengeance. That pass is caught by Bolden. But he is going backwards. Back to New York in an update with JB.
Pittsburgh has erased a 17-point deficit.
Yeah, and they're coming back with a vengeance. Ben Roethlisberger hits Marcus Wheaton right here for the 9-yard touchdown. We are all tied up in a very exciting game, 27-27.
12:34 left in regulation. Spiro.
And Pittsburgh Steelers, they're the team no one wants to face.
Exactly.
If you let them in the playoffs, better watch out. Ben Roethlisberger could get hot.
3rd and 19. Gabbert throwing far side of the field. Torrey Smith making what would have been just an incredible catch. Nice effort on the play, but it's incomplete. 4th and long.
Yep, threw this one out of bounds. He's got to be able to hit Torrey Smith. He was open. Got to keep him on the court, as they say. Don't throw it out of bounds. Can't catch it over there.
Well, Smith trying to grit his way through back and toe injuries. Missed a couple of days of practice this week. As Jim Tom Sula will send out his kicker, Phil Dawson, to attempt a 41-yarder. Dawson has made 19 straight field goals, 2nd longest streak in team history. Dawson actually has the record of 27 straight. This one is blocked.
Just as you were saying, what, 27 straight?
That old broadcaster's jinx. Sorry, Phil.
I think Carlos Dunlap had more to do with it, right? Long arms of number 96, Carlos Dunlap, turns back the kick, save the Bengals.
The 2nd field goal that Phil Dawson has had blocked this season. First one coming on opening day back on September the 14th. So 24-7. Carlos Dunlap has had a busy day. Sack, forced fumble, fumble recovery, and now blocked field goal. 1st and 10, Cincinnati. Jeremy Hill given another chance after fumbling earlier. Let's go downstairs to JJ. What did you see on that block?
Guys, it's easy whenever there's a block kick to blame the kicker. And most of the time it's not their fault, but unless there's penetration by the defensive line as the kicker, you have to have the height and elevation to get it over that jumping defensive line. Dunlap was not deep in the backfield. I think that's Phil Dawson's fault. He's got to get the ball up quicker. He was going into the wind as well.
Oh, who better to break it down than Jay Feely, who hit some pressurized kicks over his long NFL career. Great to have Jay with us here in Santa Clara. 2nd and 11. This is McCarron, flushed out of the pocket. And McCarron continues to get some valuable experience here. So this one all but locked up. And they will quickly begin preparations for a monstrous game coming up next weekend.
Absolutely.
In Denver.
There is no doubt. And he's played well. I mean, he's protected the football. Sure, they're going to get back, and the evaluation is, hey, we got to be better on 3rd down. Got to be better at picking up and reading the blitzing defense and not taking sacks as he has done on his last 2 possessions.
Here come the Niners on the edge blitz. 3rd and 10. McCarron again does not force any passes, just kind of falls to the turf. They'll lose a yard, maybe 2. Eric Reed making the play for San Francisco.
And I think you can see on these last 3 possessions the inexperience of A.J. McCarron. I think is well seen. You can see Hugh Jackson coaching him up, saying, okay, here's what you got to see. You got to see in this alignment with this coverage, and here's where you got to go with the football. It's got to come out much faster.
Well, I'm not sure there are many offensive coordinators that are better suited for this kind of set of circumstances to kind of guide a young quarterback than Hugh Jackson. What a valuable coach he's been for Marvin Lewis on this staff. 51 yards on the punt, 7 on the return by Ellington on CBS. A lot of empty seats here at Levi's Stadium on a chilly Sunday. Last day of fall here in Northern California with temperatures right around 48 8 degrees at kickoff. 1st and 10 for Blaine Gabbert and this offense as they start just outside the 25. Gabbert over the middle, completes to Bolden. Well, here's what is in front of the Bengals. A win today will clinch the division, their 3rd crown since 2009. Pittsburgh right now tied with Denver. 27 apiece in that game. Cincinnati, of course, trying to move one step closer to that coveted 1st-round postseason bye, something they have not had since 1988. This is Patton. Breaks the initial tackle, gets close to the 50. 1st down catch and run of a dozen to move the chains.
Yeah, Bengals were swarming there. They had Trey Kirkpatrick there, and how about Sean Williams filling in for George Iloka at that other safety spot opposite of Reggie Nelson.
Iloka out, aggravated a groin injury last week in that loss against the Steelers. Gabbert on 1st down, completes. That's Gaskins underneath. Little crossing route. It's inside Cincinnati territory. A pickup of 9 brought down by Leon Hall.
You know, we talked about this team needing to get things done in 2015 in terms of winning in the postseason. It's a veteran team. They're battle tested.
It's Gabbert and throw it a little bit behind Torrey Smith as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, we talked about them being battle tested, but a number of players are going to be unrestricted free agents. There are coaches on this coaching staff that, you know, they keep winning, so other teams, when they're looking to fill a head coaching spot, they're going to want to interview some of these coaches. So Cincinnati Bengals are well aware of what they need to get done in 2015. This same team won't be back together next year.
Yeah, we've heard Hugh Jackson's name already bandied about in terms of some expected openings around the NFL, even at the collegiate level. You see San Francisco 0 of 11 on 3rd down, and they continue to struggle as that pass underthrown, intended for Blake Bell. Pressure coming from Burfict.
It's their inability to pick up Vontaze Burfict. That's why that Gabbert had to abort the play. Simply had to roll out of the pocket. Once you get out of that tackle box, you can throw the ball away. Now on 4th and 1, see what they dial up.
Did convert the 4th down earlier in the half. As we move inside of 5 minutes. Bengals showing blitz. Gabbert protected and completes. That's Patton on a sliding catch. 8 yards and a 1st down.
That was a really good catch because Trey Kirkpatrick was all over him. Look at this. Almost got it out.
They just might want to skip 3rd down, go right to 4th. Gabbert. Boy, you thought maybe he would escape, but Domata Peko able to get his arms around him, and he does the little Samoan dance.
Domata Peko, look at him. It's his 5th sack on the season. He dances around with Gabbert and then does a solo. How you like that one?
That's a lot of jiggle.
It's having fun.
What a character Peko is. Such a warm guy. We've had a chance to spend some time with him. Born in L.A. and grew up in Pago Pago in the South Pacific. What a career he has had. All 10 of his seasons in Cincinnati. Gaskins on another catch. Peko told us when he first fell in love with the NFL, was a little kid. They used to get together with the entire village where he grew up and watch the Super Bowl. And he told his parents as a young kid, I want to play in the NFL.
He's been a tremendous leader on this football team in his 10th season out of Michigan State.
3rd and 12. Bengals again coming on the blitz. That one is deflected high in the air, and Smith makes the catch. Boy, we've seen them burned on a couple of those today, as now Smith will limp towards the sideline. Finally, San Francisco catches a break, 17 yards and a 1st down.
This is why you got to keep playing hard. Adam Jones nearly intercepted, but everyone else stopped. So that ball goes up in the air, and look, Torrey Smith hauls it in.
First 3rd down conversion on the afternoon. 1st and 10. This is Cadet. Takes on a hard hit at the 15-yard line. Tackled by Burfict and Dawson.
And these are meaningful snaps for Blaine Gabbert. I mean, he's working his progression. He's working his feet so that he can get himself in position to throw, and he's throwing it in a timely manner. I like his pacing in tempo and timing in the offense.
11th play of the drive. They've been all passes. 2nd and 5. Going end zone. Caught. Anquan Bolden for the San Francisco touchdown. They beat Leon Hall 15 yards on the strike from Gabbert.
Yeah, we told you Gabbert was working his game. I could see it coming to him. He throws this one in a timely manner. Puts it up where Anquan Bolden could make a play. Now, Leon Hall has been playing against Anquan Bolden going back to his days with the Baltimore Ravens, when Bolden helped the Ravens capture a Super Bowl title during the 2012 season. Gabbert just threw that one nicely. It's almost like a rebound play for Anquan Bolden.
What a career Bolden has had. Former Offensive Rookie of the Year in 03 with Arizona. 3rd touchdown catch. His first since Week 5 against the Giants. Dawson's point after is good. And that gets the Niners to within 10. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a rare look inside Apple with CEO Tim Cook. That's followed by the season premiere of Undercover Boss, then Madam Secretary, and a new CSI Cyber, only CBS. Well, you're Marvin Lewis. You look up, only a 10-point game. We're 2 and change remaining in this 4th quarter. Let's go downstairs, bring in Jay Feely. Obviously, onside kick, Jay, in play here. What's the general strategy here if you're the kicker?
Well, you see Phil Dawson going out there. They've been using their punter, Bradley Pinion, throughout the game and the season to kick off, so you know they're going with onside. Phil Dawson likes to hit the high hop onside to his right. That's where 49ers have overloaded their personnel as well. He wants to get it about 11 yards down the field. They want to come up, get the front line blocked, and have the 1 or 2 guys that are their hands guys to come and recover the ball.
Yeah, Jay, and the Bengals have overloaded on that side. They've got 6 players there. Look at Mohamed Sanu behind that first wave. Their job is to block the oncoming guys for the 49ers and keep him clean to make the catch.
The ball has to go 10 yards for San Francisco to be able to recover, as now the Bengals are going to burn their 2nd timeout. Let's bring in Jay once again as the strategizing Jay continues on that Cincinnati side of the field.
Solomon, you know, a lot of teams will use what they call a Kodak, either on a special teams play or a defensive play, to get a look at what the offense, or in this time the kicking team, is going to do. I think that's what Cincinnati did. They saw the overload, they bring them over, use the timeout, talk about it. They want to make sure that Sanu is going to be able to be free and come up and get that ball, get good blocking on the front line.
Yeah, Jay, that Kodak is sort of like taking a snapshot, getting a picture of it. Darren Simmons, special teams coach for the Cincinnati Bengals, well played.
Phil Dawson will get himself set. 2:17 to play. Niners have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning still to come. Well, we have seen stranger things happen in the NFL. Cincinnati took a 21-0 lead. But since that point, Niners have outscored them 14-3. This one goes 10. Looks like Mohamed Sanu had it initially. It's still loose. No signal yet. Now they say Bengals football.
I love it how the entire bench, it's an acting job. It's a sales job to try to influence the official. Mohamed Sanu had it the entire time, but it looked like maybe he had to re-grab it or grasp it a second time. And look, they start fighting underneath that pile for it. And so all the red jerseys have got to try to sell it. But Sanu had the ball the entire time.
Niners players still pointing in their direction.
Well, that's because at the bottom of the scrum, they're starting to grab. But he was down by contact there. The official said that he had the ball.
Boy, Nick Bellore is the man who eventually had the football in his hands. Our referee is Ron Torbert. Well, this should be an interesting conversation.
It looked like Sanu had the ball initially. And then as everyone come plunging into him, And at that point, he's down by contact. But let's see if the ball did come out before the 49ers made contact with Mohamed Sanu.
And Salman, and it's interesting as we watch them conference here, this week the league sent out a memo to all 32 teams about the procedural changes that we'll see in the playoffs for situations like this, that they'll be able to have an open line of communication with the people in New York, Dean Blandino, to make the correct call.
San Francisco is challenging the ruling on the field that Cincinnati recovered the onside kick. We'll review the play.
Now the rules are different for the ball changing hands at the bottom of a scrum. Now, that's not totally reviewable once they get into the scrum. So it's going to be based on who's the last guy that has the ball. Okay, he didn't have it. He never had possession of it. So I stand corrected. This is going to be 49ers football.
Unbelievable. Nick Bellore is the man who fell on the football. Sanu never had control.
Never had control, never had possession.
And that is as definitive
clear
evidence as you will see. And this one could be a much easier call than we initially thought.
See, from up here, we had a different angle. We were behind Sanu. It looked like that ball rested right in his chest, and it looked like he had gone down with it because you couldn't see that ball ricochet off his helmet into the ground. And there you see the 49ers made a clear and visible recovery.
All right, let's bring in Mike Carey from New York. Mike, what are you seeing?
Yes, I think you have it described exactly right. There was no clear recovery by Cincinnati, but there was, in fact, a clear recovery by San Francisco. If I'm in the booth, I reverse this to San Francisco's ball, 1st and 10. Now, remember, the new memo put out by Blandino is only affects replay or administrative changes, like the clock, the downs, things like that. They will not get involved in judgment calls outside of replay.
Right, nothing to do with penalties that have been called. As Mike Carey, our officiating expert, joins us from New York. There you see Sanu.
Never has control.
Never had control, and
the
then
ball gets
Bellore
covered
falls
up.
on it.
We lose it, but there are only San Francisco players around. Clear recovery.
Nick Bellore, the 50-year linebacker.
Ruling on the field is changed. San Francisco recovered the onside kick. It was San Francisco's ball, 1st and 10 at their 45-yard line on their half. San Francisco is not charged with a timeout.
Now, how about this? You know, after Darren Simmons, the special teams coordinator, called the timeout, the Bengals were in position to make the play. It was up to Mohamed Sanu because that wall kept him clean, kept him protected. He just has to make the catch, even though he knows there's going to be a collision there.
There's Simmons talking it over with Sanu. Again, Niners all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10, Gabbert completes. Bell inside the Cincinnati 30. And suddenly here come the Niners. 27 yards and a 1st down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. San Francisco showing a heartbeat, down 10 on CBS. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Cincinnati in Santa Clara taking on the Niners. Alongside Solomon Wilcots and Jay Feely, I'm Spiro Ditas. Mohamed Sanu unable to field the onside kick, so the Niners hoping for one last push. Down 10. 1st and 10, Gabbert pumps, throws, end zone. It is intercepted. Picked off by Sean Williams as the safety swoops in to save the night for Cincinnati.
He threw it too late. Had a receiver open, but he doesn't see him. And look, he's going to come here, but then the safety comes over late. Now watch this. See, he comes open. Now stop it right there. Look, he's open. And all you got to do is just hit him right there. But look, he throws it way late. The safety, Sean Williams, able to come over and intercept it. That ball should have been thrown just as the receiver was coming open. Not once he got to the goal line. Jerome Simpson, the former Cincinnati Bengal receiver, was the intended target on the play.
Sean Williams making his 3rd start of the season for the injured George Iloka. His second career pick and the third interception thrown today by Blaine Gabbert.
Remember, Vance Joseph, defensive back coach for the Bengals, likes to play his safeties deeper than normal so they can make plays like that, having great range.
Athletic trainer still looking at Simpson. Jerome Simpson, again, the former Bengal. And a good sign as he walks to the Niners sideline. Let's go to New York, get an update with JB.
How much does Antonio Brown love having Ben Roethlisberger?
Well, if he feeds him right here, keeping up the seam, he's having an outstanding game. Antonio Brown, 15 catches, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, 24 unanswered points by the Pittsburgh Steelers. 34-27, Pittsburgh's winning.
3:24 left in regulation. Back to Spiro Leaders and Solomon Wilcox.
And that Denver Broncos defense was supposed to be one of the best in the NFL, with Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown having their way with the Broncos.
Broncos started the day with the best scoring defense in the NFL. Cincinnati right behind them at number 2. As that Pittsburgh team red hot, 30+ points over the last 5 weeks. 1st and 10. And now can Cincinnati run the football some? This is one of the reasons why they haven't been able to run the clock today. They've gotten next to nothing from this running attack as the Niners will take their first time out.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis needs that running game to get going. A.J. McCarron needs that run game to get rolling.
Marvin Lewis trying to pump up his troops. They'll fly home to Cincinnati tonight and begin preparations for their game in Denver next weekend, but not out of the woods just yet. Coming up next, we will send you to Pittsburgh. Bonus coverage of that thriller between the Steelers and the Broncos, with just over 3 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. This will be a 2nd and 7 play. Marvin Lewis trusting Jeremy Hill, who lost a fumble earlier in the half. Hill trying to go right up the gut, and if nothing else, Lewis trying to force Tom Sula to use his timeouts here. Tom Sula will oblige. They'll take their 2nd, and this is the big play coming up. Boy, I tell you what, doing these games, we see a lot of crazy stats. How about 28 years since the last time an Alabama produced quarterback won a game as a starter in the NFL? November 15th, 1987. Jeff Rutledge on for the injured Phil Simms as the Giants, the defending Super Bowl champs, go to Philly and beat the Eagles.
Look at that, and they're 0-13 since then. Alabama quarterbacks as starters in the National Football League, whether it's Brody Croyle or Greg McElroy.
That's right.
Haven't been able to come up with a win.
I don't know what's crazier, 28 years since the last Bama quarterback to win in the NFL, or the fact that there have only been 4 since Rutledge to start. McCarron is the 4th, 3rd and 7. Hill will be well short until they'll force the Niners to burn their final timeout. So 96 seconds to play, and it's still a 2-possession game with Cincinnati up 10.
I think A.J. McCarron is going to be able to tell you that it helps to have some talent around you. It helps to have defense that can make plays and put you on a short field to set you up to be able to get the ball into the end zone. This Cincinnati Bengals defense has been ravenous today, coming up with interceptions, 3 on the day, and then a forced fumble as well. So 4 takeaways to create a short field for A.J. McCarron, and he's been able to take advantage of it.
You certainly wondered how this offense would fare today. Not only the absence of Dalton, but Tyler Eifert as well, who has been so huge for them. Tied for the league lead with 12 touchdowns. Here's Ellington from inside his own 25, crosses the 35 and gets ahead to the 40. Good return of 17, 59 yards on the punt by Huber. Well, some Niners miscues today have been the story.
Oh, absolutely. And I would say just better job done by the Bengals defense, because this is just a sure takeaway they take the lunch money from Anquan Bolden, forcing the fumble, and then this interception by Vontaze Burfict. Their ability to block the kick by Carlos Dunlap, and then Sean Williams. Incredible interception. That's San Francisco looking to get back into this football game. Slammed the door shut on Jim Tomsula. 4 turnovers, a blocked field goal, and forced 10 penalties by this 49ers football team.
Those are numbers you see in a preseason game. On 1st and 10, Bolden with the catch, and another flag thrown. Again, it comes behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Another penalty. 11th of the day for the 49ers.
Multiple penalties against peers in this game. 1st and 20. Gabbert, nice job. Flushed out of the pocket, trying to throw on the run, and off the hands of the defender. P.J. Dawson, the rookie linebacker, who's had a chance to get some snaps here at the end of the game for Marvin Lewis.
You know, P.J. Dawson's one of those players. You talked about him earlier, Spiro. 3rd-round pick out of TCU. Very instinctive player. They believe he's going to be one of those developing players that's going to be a significant talent in the National Football League. A lot of people had a much higher draft grade on him. He fell to the 3rd round, and the Bengals snatched him up.
2nd and 20. Gabbert goes underneath to Bolden, and he will be shut down at the 37. Salma, you saw what you saw today from McCarron as they will start to look ahead to Denver. Did you see enough that gives you confidence to think that they can go there and win a game under those circumstances?
It's going to be tough. They got to run the ball better. More importantly, they've got to be better with their offensive line.
Travares Cadet brought down right at the 50. That'll be a 1st down catch and run. 13 yards on the pickup. Final 33 seconds. Gabbert. Another screen pass to Cadet, and it falls incomplete. AFC postseason picture continues to tighten. Just 2 regular season weekends left after tonight.
Cincinnati Bengals going to go ahead and give them the win. That's right, 11 wins now. And Denver is trying desperately to overcome their deficit against the Pittsburgh Steelers as we speak. So Marvin Lewis, 11 wins. Just an incredible job he has done in his tenure as their head coach.
Gabbert set. Guess who? It's Atkins. 3rd sack today for Geno Atkins.
So how about that? Marvin Lewis lead the Bengals to the postseason for 5th consecutive season. Not easily done, but a job well done in a year where, you know, they've had to fight and they got off to such a great start, but looks like they're going to be able to close it out getting into the playoffs.
The Cincinnati Bengals win the division for the 3rd time since '09. Let's go to New York and JB for bonus coverage.
All right, we take you now to the battle.